Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Holistic Health on Topic. Today, we are going to focus a little bit on your health from the financial point of view, because how many people are taken down by finances all the time? Especially you women, we wear many, many hats all the time, and we are always trying to figure out a budget. So we have the lovely special guest, Ren Robertz, who is the founder of Financial Freedom and Joy, because you can have that all, even though people say you can't. Yes, you can. And she's going to show you today how. And with our lovely co host today, we have Colleen Burrill with digital media. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's lovely to see you ladies. And we want everybody to just sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves. We're going to be here for about 60 minutes just to give you an idea. And pen to paper, you might want to take a few notes. And then, of course, we will have a few special things to offer you as gifts to keep moving forward as you start really taking up the idea of possibly having some recurring income for yourself, even if it's just for shopping or beautiful, exquisite care for yourself, a new outfit, or maybe really helping the budget for finances at the house or even to business itself. Ren has so many avenues to talk to you about, and so please sit back, relax, and enjoy. Ren, hi.
Hello there. Thank you so much for having me. And it's wonderful to be back on your other show. We had a little snippet last time, and now we get to really dive in. I'm excited.
I'm very excited too, because this is really an area that is very close to my heart. Um, Being a female founder and a caregiver, and now a life giver, because the stage has actually increased. I really do need to focus on recurring income now, because I don't have all the time that I used to have right now working with people directly. So it is very important to have at least part of this in your portfolio so you feel more secure and kind of have a flow of stream of, as we say, bread and butter coming in. Helps take some pressure off.
For sure.
So, Ren, for somebody who is first considering this, what would you like to tell them? How would they even start thinking about this?
Perfect. Well, I definitely have an entrepreneur perspective, though, from the general idea right now, when we talked about, you alluded to recurring income, or what I like to call passive income. It looks that this is money that you receive without having to trade your time for. If you're going to sit on your couch for positive reasons or negative reasons, you still receive that money. And so the idea of financial freedom is that your passive income exceeds your expenses. And that's when you're, quote, out of the rat race. You don't have to trade your time for the dollars in order to have your basic needs met. And then wealth is building upon that and just growing that base of financial stability. So that's where anyone at any stage can get out of the rat race. And I love to play a game called Cash Flow that lets you play and go through that and understand it doesn't matter what your career is, what any part of it is it's just looking at where can you start to have money come in that it's not tied to you having to do something. And in the past, it was like retirement. Okay, well, what did you have to do? You had to go dedicate your life to a company and or reach a certain age and then you receive passive income. Though what I hear from a lot of people and a lot of my clients are in that older bracket, they might have gotten to get social security and it's not enough.
Mhm.
So they're one venue of getting this recurring passive income and they finally get it and they don't know how to grow it or increase it because they only had one method our way of getting it. And so that's where I like to teach people from an entrepreneur way of how you can start to take your own ideas, your own business streams, and where can you start to get more of those passive or reoccurring. And if you don't have a business, you can do this in lots of ways too. People love to talk about stocks or real estate for passive income, and those are great. And there's lots of other forms too. And we live in the age of the internet, and there's so many possibilities. And maybe you could be like me. I just referred people to use Airbnb when it got started, and I made hundreds and actually probably thousands of dollars just from Airbnb paying me when somebody started to use their app. Like, I never worked for Airbnb. So there's lots of different ways that you can get these recurring income and things that you love and use every day might even have an affiliate or referral link, and you can share it with people and start to get money. And some of that automation might be like, oh, I can put that in my email signature. Or, oh, I could post that on social media every so often. And so that's the recurringness to start to get your brain to think about what are the things that you do one time that then can pay off. And every time you send an email, oh my gosh, people are seeing that link and some can buy.
Well, that is very true and wonderful. And you just spit out at least 20 avenues just like that. Okay, so not to overwhelm anyone. Okay, this is just to be thought provoking and start to open up your perceptions. And it's kind of like you're taking an inventory of yourself. It sometimes, yes, it's a business and it's specific, and there's something else you want to be able to extend to your clientele and new audience. But sometimes it's just about look in the past of all the different types of jobs you've ever done and the hobbies you've ever done that you love. All of those are possible avenues. And it doesn't have to be very complicated, at least not to start. It's like we don't want you going down a rabbit hole and saying, "Oh my God, I can never do this." And Ren has several techniques that keep it very simplified for you. That it's like, oh, you could actually take an idea that you have right now after you listen to us, and by the end of the day, actually have something up. Now,
True.
does that seem impossible? It might in your mind because you never thought things could be this simplified. But what we've all learned here, and we want to really reinforce for you that simplicity is the best way to go. So, Ren, I know that one method you do use very frequently and it's very easy to apply is Gumroad. Now,
Yeah.
people are going to say, what on earth is that? And that's what I said when I first heard you say that. I go, what? So you might not want to start there. You might want to even start with something a little simpler that they could do, like a free MailChimp
Oh,
account with the link. But the floor is yours, my dear.
gotcha. Well, for simple and for someone who's maybe not into the tech world, a lot of the way that I love to make money is from online businesses. And I've had my first business since I was 19 years old. So I'm like, I love making money online.
You
And so that's kind of, skewed towards that. And to keep it easy, it's like we need a way for people to pay you. So you've probably heard of PayPal or something like that. So at the very least, getting a way to accept payments on the internet is the first way to get recurring income. And then, so Karina mentioned something called Gumroad. And I discovered that years back, it used to be a lot harder for someone to have a shopping cart on a web page. That idea of putting a product in and purchasing it. And there was a lot of security behind the scenes and you needed a lot of website help. So this company, Gumroad, I think they changed names from what they were originally. No idea why they picked Gum Road.
Yeah, they do. I
Okay.
well,
And by the
gums
way, they
gums
don't have an affiliate program, so I'm not even getting paid to talk about them. I just have found that they're useful. And this is where you can literally take an idea of yours and start to make money on it like in under an hour. No joke. Like time me like 10 minutes, if that, to get something up. If you want to make it look pretty, okay, give yourself an hour. Um, and it's just a way to be able to accept payments on the internet, though the difference between that and say like Stripe or PayPal is in Gumroad, you can actually host your product there. You could even just type up your product or make a video and put a link to it. So that's where it actually houses it. And so then Gumroad makes money if you make money. So there's not a subscription, which is why I like to use it. I also like to use it for a lot of free things. So on the internet, a big thing is getting someone's email address. Ooh. Well, you can use Gumroad for free to offer something for someone to get excited about, and they don't even have to pay for it. You get their email address, and it actually didn't cost you anything using the Gumroad. And then if you want to charge for that, cool, put any price you want, and then Gumroad makes their fee out of it. So that's how they make money. So, and their fee, I want to say, is about 14% right now, which might seem like a lot. And that's where, okay, there's different softwares down the road. And Karina mentioned MailChimp and things like that. So, yeah, you can get your fees down. However, to get started with no other software, like, hey, cool, get going. I was talking to a client today. She was having a glitch on her website. And I was like, well, if you put it over in Gumroad, you can sell it, get it up there very quickly. And then as soon as your glitch is done, just take down the link. And then Gumroad also gives you free advertising. So then you're getting exposed to their stuff. So that's kind of the win win of like, and the passive, you can go through making a product or uploading it, making the link, all that stuff once. And now recurring, it works over and over and over again.
and that is the key of the adage work smarter, not harder.
Amen.
But there's also another new saying that's out there for you perfectionists is that done is perfect.
Is better than perfect or better than perfect sometimes.
Yeah, but instead of laboring over something that it has to be this, it has to be that, because you can get hung up on that. Um, all you need to do is just have a simple way you want to exhibit it, which is called a layout. Now, yes, you can create a product, but even as an artist and a gemologist and a photographer that I am, as well as a coach, guide, and mentor, if you have some things around your home already, then all you need to do is snap a picture of it and put it up on Gumroad.
Correct. And we can even use AI. I love Google Gemini or Chat GPT and say, hey, I'm selling this rock. May hopefully you know what kind of rock. You can even upload a picture of the rock into the software so it can see it. And then you could ask it to write the description for you. And you copy paste that into wherever you're going to sell it.
Well, this is true, but for a lot of people, they're still pretty gun shy of anything about AI and not so techy either. But if you're not, it is an excellent way to save yourself a lot of time. And if you're not used to something like that and you not quite want to venture out there, you can at least just Google it for a description. And that will be helpful for you because sometimes we have something, but we don't know what to say about it. But what we all three, I would say that we're all in alignment with this, say something that is from your heart, because this is what the person is going to feel. So that is a simplified way, honest to God. You can look around your house, the things that you have loved, but you don't use anymore, and they really deserve a new home to be loved. That is a simple way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for those that do like tech, oh, we're definitely going to say jump into AI because it's going to save you such precious time. And you're consulting with this big brain that has a database. It's not just searching like on Google. So it is one of the best tools right now to help simplify your work in time frames. Colleen, in the digital world, okay, the digital media world, um, what would you recommend for somebody, let's just say starting out, not knowing anything about any of this? Where would they, and they don't really have emails to start, but they still want to get something out there. What would be the simplest, easiest thing for them to first do?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I am a big fan of using Canva. It's pretty straightforward, even if you don't have any design skills or whatnot. You can make a free account, and yeah, you can just use their fonts. They have built-in images and all that stuff, and you can kind of just start to put your ideas on paper digitally, as we'll say, and you can turn that into a post. You can put that on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, whatever is your platform of choice, and just kind of start that momentum. Putting that awareness out there that you have an offer, you have something to present to the world. And honestly, as you were just saying before, done is better than perfect, which, as a recovering perfectionist, this is so true. But really, yeah, I just think it's important to start to put yourself out there. And the more that you do it, which is something that Karina has also helped me to do, but the more that you put yourself out there, it's going to be so much easier to just um, be yourself and just, say what's on your heart.
And it can be fun. I
Yes.
hope you noticed how much we're saying free account for this, free account for that, free account for that. We're telling you this so you can get started and not have finances be stopping you or using that as an excuse. And what Colleen was explaining is about this program called Canva, Canva. You probably see national commercials all the time about it. And it is amazing to work with. And it's fun, it's creative, and you're going to find a whole nother side of yourself as you start to work with it. And so you're actually going to start decompressing from the stresses of the day as well, which will start to open up your mind. Wait a minute, I could do this and have some recurring income. Once we decompress, once we get out of that overwhelmed state, this is why we're pairing the financial freedom with honestly your holistic health, because whatever impacts your whole being, your mood, your emotions, your thoughts, your being, which comes out of you physically too, finances are a big deal. And we all feel and can feel the stress and the strain of them at any given time. Even when everything is so copacetic, you just like cruising along, it's all cool. Then life happens, unexpected. And then, oh my God, what do you do about it? Well, when you have the time where you're not so pressured and you start doing these small little new habits, when pressure hits, you know what to do.
That is very
It's a
true.
much healthier way to go.
Yes. And I would add that, like, yes, Canva is a great tool. I'm kind of artsy and I go into like when I need to go create something in Canva. So that's the other side of knowing where to keep your joy zone. And what I like is I like my design, like, I'll pay somebody and I'll pay a virtual assistant. Like, honestly, it might be 30 minutes of their time. So it's not very much money at all. They go in and they create the draft, and now I can go in, clone it, tweak it. So I like to put my fingers on it, though it drove me nuts when I started it from scratch. So it's like part of it is finding your own zone of genius and your joy. And then the financial part is like, part of it is having the tools, but realizing money is a tool. So where can it be used? And a huge thing is like we're telling you, hey, check out these free things, and then also know when you need to spend something, like, I need help, I'm going to spend, and I am so grateful for the person that saves me the time and aggravation, because they're in their zone of genius and I can stay in mine.
Oh, that's absolutely, absolutely true. It's not a one-way street, for sure. No matter what, there is a form of payment. If you're working with something that's completely free, you are paying your time into it. Okay? You really are. And if it's not something you're enjoying, you don't want to be there. And it's going to take you a lot longer, cost you a lot more than if you turn around and go, okay, that person does this beautifully and it's easy enough. Like Colleen, she does my digital media, my shorts, my clips. That's not something I want to put my time and energy into. So, but I do put my hands into the very heart of the framework and the design, because that's me, the artist, and I love that, and I decompress with that. But then I pass it off, and it's an investment in yourself, and it's an appreciation also for somebody else's talent. And trust me, now the energy starts to flow in exchange, which actually allows more abundance to come to you, because money is not just a thing that we're taught that it is an energy. And the energy actually is abundance. And so the paper, the coin, it's only part of what abundance is. It's only part of what wealth is. But when you're aligned in that, now it starts to flow with you more. Now, did you notice how much Ren said she loves to make money online? Okay, she has a complete, total, not just a perception, but a heartfelt love there. And what do you think she shines and attracts because of that? So then the question is, what are you saying about money and finances and your ability?
Exactly. All
Because
the energetic side of it.
so it is a tool, it's a wonderful tool. And it isn't about, oh, they can do that, but I can't. So where are you sitting with that? Are you in a lack mindset or a receiving mindset? That's something to take a look at, and start surrounding yourself with people who have the mindset that you want to have, or reinforce your mindset even more.
Mm. An example that I like to use a lot, like, people come to me for tech and asking questions, and I love to break it down. And I tell them all the time, like, I can show you how to highlight some text on this page. However, it's totally different results, because if your mentality is going, this can't work, it never works for me, I'll never make money, this never, like, you're going to highlight the exact same thing and get a completely different result than if you're highlighting it and going, everything always works out for me, I love making money online, this. And so that's where it's so much with this energetic behind the tech, behind the money, and it's that intention and that greater spirit of energy. And that's why I love like bringing the financial aspects to this holistic health, because it really is a part of your whole beingness, is having the money and the energy go in hand.
Absolutely. And it's funny because sometimes you don't really know what's hidden inside of you until you start a project. And then different things will come up. But you know what? That's great. Sometimes you start to hear yourself or or hear yourself start thinking of things that aren't supporting you. But this is perfect because now this is something that you can switch because now it's disclosed to you. Now you're aware. Now you're no longer going to be blocked with it. And so you shift it. Now, that may sound simple and easy, but I'll tell you, the more that you practice it, the easier it becomes, the quicker you identify the blocks that you're having. Because the truth of it is, you can receive whatever you can believe you can receive. It may sound simple, but it is true. It is a universal law.
And it's a life's work to master it.
Yes, it is. Because it's always different degrees in different areas. So,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
uh, we're explorers, we're adventurers. And how adventurous do you want to become with your own life? How much of a designer do you want to design different aspects of your life so you can live it and be free and enjoy it? And so, financial freedom is a huge part of that joy because it's a mechanism that allows you to move freely in this material world. But it doesn't mean that it has to control you. And it's also not about you trying to control it. It's about attracting, and it's an exchange. So in that exchange, that means you just don't hoard it either, because then you'll block it up. That's why investing into yourself again, freeing that off, that's the movement. Think of it like, ebb and flow of the ocean. I mean, we have all these examples in nature that
Yep. And it's
really
the
show us.
Yeah, and it's the expectation that, we expect winter to follow autumn. And we expect when we spend or we invest, we expect it to return. So that's where the energetic and that expectation of these things, when you understand them, and that's like, it's just a byproduct, it's a side effect, really.
Oh, no, that's very, very true. A lot of people misunderstand expectation. There is an intention set with it. The only difference is you don't micromanage the universe. You may conceive a certain way is meant to happen, but the universe will turn around and may alter it a little bit so that you even benefit greater. You hold the expectation and intention, but you don't constrict the universe from allowing it to move freely for you for your best interest.
Oh, I love the phrase, this or something better.
That's perfect. That's exactly right. Because often you're going to get something better, unexpected, and and better. And you go, oh, I never thought of that. Oh, thank you. And so, for some people, yes, it's about first consulting with your guides. It could be just be inspired by what you see somebody else do. Trust me, Ren inspires a lot of people. Her being on the younger scale for all the things she's accomplished so quickly. Um, Huge inspiration for people to think, oh, I'm too young. I don't have enough experience yet. Well, that's not necessarily true. And for gals that are a little older, that possibilities open up in bigger ways, regardless of all the twists and turns of experience and responsibilities that fall on you as well. Because some do fall on you that's beyond your control, and others are choice. But it's all there. So age is not relative here at all. Time frame really isn't relative if in fact you don't believe it's going to take you forever. But if you believe it's going to take you forever, then it will. But we're letting you know it doesn't take forever. You can get started. In fact, we're going to ask you guys to get started with a simple thing. And when we put the replay on here, we're going to ask you to start dropping in and letting us know what you jumped in on, what you're starting. Give us the link so we can look, we can help you. Not only that, we get inspired by you getting inspired. And if you have questions, you can put the questions right there, because your question, whatever it may be, could also be helpful for somebody else. So we are definitely going to encourage you to engage with this. Holidays are coming up. Some people need extra shopping money. This is a way. And people are going to receive something that they would love for themselves or a gift for somebody else, because everybody's always trying to think of different gift solutions as well.
Yeah.
So these are just some encouraging thoughts. So Ren, is there something that you would like to go a little deeper on? You mentioned a whole bunch of avenues, right? One thing that is very simplistic is doing an affiliate link. Now, you want to tell the audience how that could work for them, but that's actually more long-term coming, right? There's a short-term gain, and a long-term gain.
Gotcha. Well, also to clarify, is it like an affiliate, like you're having affiliates, or you're finding things that you like and grabbing their link to share it? So you're making money off of other companies or people. Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Both.
Okay.
Affiliate, because people don't necessarily know what affiliate link means.
Good. Okay. Well, when you said a long term, I'm like, affiliate is quick. That's like,
No. When you don't have, let's say, an audience yet, that could be long-term coming.
Gotcha. Well, people. So you might not have a
There you
quote
go.
social media following, though I would say a lot of women especially find themselves getting attracted to network marketing. That's another word of affiliate marketing. It's a company, a lot of times it might be a vitamin or a supplement, or a product, and say, "Hey, I like this product." So they love to call it your own business. So now you have your own business, though you're selling their products. So you're just a rep, but you're an affiliate.
That's
So
right.
nothing wrong with it, and that's network marketing. So a lot of people, like, they don't even have businesses, though they have friends, and they tell their friends, "Hey, check out this thing." So that's where it doesn't matter, and that's an easy way to get in. And there's like a website called like clickbank.com, and
Mhm.
it's just a website that's there for people to list their products. And then if you like their products, you literally can go resell their products and get money on it. So like that, you could totally do that in a matter of minutes.
You
And
you wanna repeat that for those that are listening?
Click, Click, and then bank, Bank. So it's just like, and their whole company model is other people list their products and are willing to give commission to people who sell them. And so that's a completely online thing. So there's so many different ways that all you need is a link. And that's where I had mentioned at the beginning, I did that with Airbnb. So before it was really well known, I knew about it early and was using it in Hawaii, though, that's a travel area. A lot of other places, people, if they hadn't been traveling, didn't know about it. So I literally would share it on my Facebook and people would be like, wow, what's that? And sign up. And then whenever they took their first trip, I would get paid. So literally I had money coming in randomly because I didn't know when people were going to travel. So that's part of the fun part is like, and I set that link back in 2015, 2014 in those. I got a message recently that somebody had taken a trip.
Wow.
And that's the passiveness is you made that connection. They signed up, they joined, they never traveled until now recently. So that's just the ways of looking at what are the things that you like. I love this all natural deodorant. They have an affiliate link. So you don't need to be in business for yourself to even start thinking about that, and your own friends or your coworkers at the office. I mean, referral or word of mouth marketing, they say is the strongest. As long as I've been it, they've still been saying it's the strongest. So we really don't think it's going to go anywhere because you trust somebody saying it. And
It is the
especially somebody
strongest.
like if somebody tells you, hey, I really like that restaurant, or hey, I like this movie, you're more inclined because it's a referral. So
Check it out. Exactly. And, if you're not really used to being on a computer, guess what, guys? You can do this right on your mobile phone.
oh, yes.
Very convenient. Just on the phone. Never have to open up a computer if you don't want to.
No,
I
and you
mean,
can make it
think
very
about that. That's pretty cool. And I'm sure you would find several things that you actually like. So think about that. So we said at least by the end of the day, then we're talking about, oh, well, you could do this up in about an hour. Guess what, guys? You can now even do this in quicker time. I mean, and it's an experiment. You may like it, you may not, but you can try it and see.
yeah.
I mean, that's about as simple as you can get.
That is true. And I can pretty much guarantee, like, if you found something like a product that you're already liking and using, and that company has a link, and let's say you have even some Facebook friends. If you posted that, chances are a friend, if they see it, someone's going to click on it. They may or may not buy, but that's where this kind of thing comes from. And if you're not on the techie part, you could literally call somebody up and be like, I'm just seeing how it's going. That's what network marketers do. They say that they're calling to check on you. At the end, they're going to say why they really called. Like, I don't want to take my cousin's phone calls anymore because I know that it's always a pitch. You don't call me unless you want something. And always into something else to make money, right? So we don't want to come across like that, though it's these principles. There's a reason why people are known like this because things work. So where do you find it in yourself to be that helpful, that it's the organic, the flowing, it feels good? And then that's where just some ideas, if you don't have a business, I threw out a lot of things where you could get started. And if you already have a business, hello, I'm sure you have things that your clients would love. Maybe you've put together, like some template for somebody. Oh, guess what? You could now put that up on Gumroad, list it there, put a link, and in 10 minutes, you would have a rough draft. Somebody could pay you and download your thing. And if you want to make it pretty, then you can go into Canva and play around in there. So, like, that's where you can do it with your own business and ideas. So, whether it's an audience or someone just looking to have money, these hopefully are getting your ideas on how you can get more of this passive reoccurring aspect of things. So,
Does
and that's
that
all. And I would also bless the active income, because don't want to take
Oh
that
God, yeah.
away. And thank you for everyone who's doing their parts. And then that's also realizing that at some point in time, you're going to want to be able to have money that comes in without you having to work, and ideally, you want the ability to know how to increase that number, unlike most of the people who, if they get a pension or something, they have no idea how to increase their a monthly amount of money.
Exactly. But now the truth of it is the recurring income is that you actually do put the work up front. You It's not like just poof, you're doing nothing. You're doing some form of work up front. The beauty about it is that you don't have to keep duplicating yourself by doing everything again manually. It's now set up that the duplication of all that effort of whatever it is that you've created now goes to work for you. And I think that's a really good frame, but also to be out there alive in person and being and making a live income. It's about kind of like however you need your balance, but it's like a hybrid type of thing. And all of this in our position is coming from the heart of how you want to help other people and impact their lives in a beautiful way. This is not about sales. This is about providing something that somebody needs, and they'll be grateful to receive it. And you will be honored to be able to give that for them. That's the difference, and that's where we come from.
And that,
Do I get that right, ladies?
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
that,
gonna say, oh, go ahead.
oh, go for it. No, I was just going to say it's not transactional. Like, yes, it is, though there's more of the emotion holistic behind it. And what were you going to say, Colleen?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just want to mention that it's really intentionally showing up. As we were mentioning about your words and your thoughts and just putting all that heart into it. And if that's the intention you put into it, then you will reciprocate that as well.
Absolutely.
Don't get stuck on the time frame.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I'm reciprocating. Okay, and where is it? Where is it? Where is so like that's part of that surrender and the knowing and being in that flow of like, yeah, we don't really know how it long it takes, and we use tools and we know things, and I know to get top spot on Google usually takes a few months. I don't expect it overnight. So like having those expectations, though, also knowing I know that when I do this work it will pay off.
Exactly. And it is about consistency and persistence
Yes,
at the
exactly.
same time. It's not like a one-shot deal. It is about you actually being present and being in motion. That's what being consistent and persistent is all about. You're literally in motion. You are moving your energy towards something, and the energy responds. If you just show up once or twice and then you sit there and you're waiting for something to happen, keep waiting. Because you may get a little dribble here, a little dribble there, but that's it, because you're not showing up.
Yeah. And then the tech side of that, it's like looking at, okay, we're in a noisier world. So it used to be something, we needed 7 touch points to make a sale. The latest data is saying 22 touch points to make a sale and things like that. So it's like looking at these kind of aspects is where can we then take what we're doing, and then where does this passive or active? And this is where when you mention consistency, like I know in myself, like I am not interested in doing like all of the stuff that needs to get done. for that consistency, though I know it's important. So it's then putting the pieces into place and saying, okay, well, then I'm going to make the commitment that someone else's time is going to be that consistent. And that's where we also make those passive versus active, is I can be leveraging my time and paying somebody for a fraction of my hourly charge, and then it gets done and it's multiplied, and I can have three people working while I'm doing this other thing. And so this is the bigger part of it, is like surrendering to that bigger picture, though the energy is spending it where your time is meant, and then also looking at like, okay, there's consistency, and maybe that's not your strong suit or where you want to spend your time. And so then that's that joy of delegating. And that's a true business, is being able to make money with or without you. And as much as we might like the active income, I think at the end of the day, we really do want to know that our bills are met regardless of what life might be throwing at us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just love this perspective that in the business part, as you start to grow out for recurring income and you adopt more of tech in your life, that you can start automating parts of this as well. And so now it's like, yes, the consistency is there. And maybe you don't like doing that part. But when you can set up the basic automatic flow and then turn that over to somebody else to make sure it's working, because tech is tech, and you have to understand tech does not always work, but tech is our friend. I say that phrase often when it goes screwy. But know that it does. So that's an expectation that you'll know too, and you can breathe with it instead of want to actually tear your hair out, which I started off that way with tech, so I didn't want to go near it anymore. But now, honestly, it is something that you can develop over time. And for those that are ready to take it at that level, then we really do want to encourage you to start looking into more tech for yourself and automation, and to be able to understand what might be necessary for you to grow. And one thing that I do love with Ren, she actually does have different VAs, virtual assistants, that are trained in different areas, because it's not one shoe fits all. It just isn't. Everybody has different needs. And so I welcome you to look into that if you're ready to take a bigger step, because honestly, if it's not something that you do well, for you to consume all your time, but it's not just your time. And what happens is that it consumes your brain, and you get your emotions, and you get frustrated, and then you get frazzled, and you short circuit because you're not aligned with it. And other people will love it. They thrive with it. And then you're not free to do what you do best. So you want to not block all that energy. You want to be able to open up and let it flow where it needs to go. I just thought I'd mention that.
Oh, I mean, the energy's huge.
So we will be having different links available for you on in the replay, because in the description here we can't place it. I'm still understanding YouTube a little more. Please come in and share this, subscribe, so we can start building to know what you like more, what you need to hear more, what we can investigate for you. and we'd love to bring it forward, because we're here to help. We really are. And the more that we help one another, you know, the better off all of us are, all rising boats. There is a reason for it. Energetically speaking, if nothing else. Colleen, is there something that you would like to add in this venture of thinking in terms of recurring income or a way to go about evergreen, which that's a term used, by the way, folks. If you ever hear evergreen, other than we have beautiful evergreens in New England, um, we're talking about something that is constantly moving and bringing income in for you. Evergreen. That's the phrase. Recurring income, passive income. They all really sit under the same umbrella. So, Colleen?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I did have a little idea earlier, and this might be kind of advanced, but I just wanted to throw it out there. Of course, you might not have your business all online. You might have a brick and mortar, or, you might show up at different markets and whatnot. So if you are into Canva or you're willing to kind of give it a whirl, there is an option on there that you can actually make a QR code. So you could actually take the link from your Gumroad product or whatever you're going to sell, and then you can just take that link into Canva, and they have a little app where you can just make a QR code. Doesn't have to be fancy. And you could print that out and actually take it with you to like a farmer's market or paste it on your door. And then every time someone walks by, they're just going to open their phone up, they're going to scan it, and it's going to go right to your product. And
Oh,
so
I
that,
love that. I love
yeah,
that.
is a
Thank
really
you.
easy way.
That's really, really important. It
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Oh, that
There's
is.
there's also one more idea I'd like to share on that note. If in fact you're out there in the real world, not just virtual, there is a way, if I can find it right here, there is a way also that you can set up your links and stuff on a simple credit card looking piece. And I'm trying to see if I can find mine right now. I'm not seeing it, or did I put it in a very safe place because I have not been out there for some time? No, I don't have it, but it's called a tap snap. I don't know if you can.
Oh, there we go.
It doesn't show itself very well right now. I'm sorry, it's not showing. There we
Oh,
go.
I see it. Confetti card.
Yes. Now there's many different types of this card. This particular company, it's only a one-time payment for the card itself. I think it's $35 or something like that. But what it is, it's just the size of a card, credit card, and you literally can touch somebody's phone with it, and they now have whatever profile you put on there. They get to see your name, they get to see whatever links you want, and it's already on their phone. And this is when you're out in public and you don't want to be handing out, business cards and all that stuff, because a lot of times people lose them, right? Well, this way it's very convenient and they have all the information right away.
That's awesome. Love
Oh,
it.
that's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of cool texts like that. I love those. Jumping off of what Colleen said, I was like, ooh, is so the idea with the QR code is brilliant because the whole thing is we want to capture someone's email address and or phone number like SMS. And so this is the thing, especially now I'm seeing it too in person. Like restaurants used to not get your email very often, though all those reward places, you have to enter in your phone number or you enter in your email. There's a reason why they started asking for that. And then that's part of this internet world. It's like we need that lifeline connection. And so, any of these routes, the big goal is to capture the email address online. And it's just so interesting because I've been in this world since 2008, my first online business. So, like, all of that. And it's like up and down whether emails are important or not. And it always circles back. And now, the very latest, email newsletters are coming back. Why? Well, there's so much out there on social media, you need a lifeline. So it's like all the people who stopped collecting email addresses when they listened to that, now they wish they had them. So that's where, just in all those things, all of these ideas are like the Gumroad or the QRs, all of those things, we want to capture the email address so that we have a way to communicate with them later on.
And that's true because it is about establishing not just a communication, but a relationship. And there's no way that we can really help you to know what's going on, to know what you prefer, unless we can have a form of communication. And so that is our goal of and the purpose for the emails, because that is usually the easiest way to communicate for most people. And the fact that everything is so virtual, believe it or not, there is a stronger disconnection for people now. And we're not meant to be so disconnected from one another. So this is a healthy way to become reconnected. And it's also a fabulous way to be able to understand what people need. And if we can offer it, we will. And if there is some other resource that we find out about, we can offer that to you. It comes down to where are you and what do you really need now? And a way how through all the noise, who can you trust, and is what you're being given something qualified? Because it isn't easy. We know that. I mean, if you were ever in the nutrition world with all the different vitamins they throw at you, and this does this and that does that, and that's one of my very big backgrounds, it is overwhelming. And most of the things, I hate to say it, aren't true. They don't produce the results that they say. And that's just a marketing ploy. And that's not what we're talking about here. Why you want to capture people's emails. It is for the communication and developing the relationship to know what your people who resonate with you, what they really need, and what you'd like to offer to help them.
Well said. And remember, it's those 22 touch points.
Oh, yeah, that too. I mean, that blows my mind.
I know.
Yeah.
It keeps going up and up and up. And that's where, like, more of these things, okay, they see you on social media, they get some emails from you, they go to your website, they go to a free class of yours, they get your download. All of those help build it. So then 23 comes along and they're like, yes, I am finally ready to buy. But the more we can do that passively, that's why it's not just passive income, it's the passive leads and generation of, like, how much of that can be automated or an assistant can do, or you love doing it and it's your zone and that's bringing them to you. So that's all of these things we've talked about fit into those pieces.
No, fantastic. Well, I'm certainly hoping that even though we threw a lot at you, that it gives you some ideas of where you can start or where you can continue and start experimenting, because it's my phrase is it's all an experiment. It really is. And be open to that, be open to the fun of it, not the drudgery of it. If you feel like something is really like pulling you down and it's absolutely awful, guess what? You're not aligned to it, so don't do it. Find something that you really love, but you have to experiment with all these different things. So again, I encourage you to come back over to the replay and tell us what you're starting, what project, what has inspired you with this. Post any questions that you may have. I promise you, we will answer your questions. We'll have a few little starter gifts over there too to help keeping you move forward with this. And until next time we see you, we're going to hold the space that whatever you need, that this is what we want for you. And with that, next month, is next month November? Yeah, okay. I'm kind of lost in time, guys. Sorry about that. Um, I will be having some easy programs for the overwhelmness of what's happening for you and how to navigate through that so you can start moving forward. So look for that information coming up as well. And any last closing words to our beautiful people out here?
I'll just let them know about the links that they'll probably see connected with the replays. So there's a link that they can get a free gift from me. It's a virtual toolbox for entrepreneurs or wantapreneurs. If you're thinking about it, it'll get some great resources. I also run a free Facebook group for entrepreneurs. I do live streams in there and trainings. You'll find whatever's going on in there. So there's links to that. And also, if you need more support, you want to be building your business, I help with the tech. I also help with that direction so we get more of those passive leads and passive sales. So you can talk to me more on that too.
And the VAs as well. For people that are interested in really starting to embrace having a VA because the tech's gotten too much, that's important as well. And you will have the links from me for that will give you my whole world of different social platforms, the workshops, the different video talk shows that are there, and the home study course that I'm going to be launching for you at different degrees of what you'd like. So we're here for you to answer and help however we can. And soon Colleen will have something up there for the entrepreneurs that are just starting to come and wanting a digital presence and not knowing how to go about that. So we're here. We're sending you love and blessings and a healthy and prosperous remaining part of the year. And we will see you next month, but hopefully in a couple of days. Until then, everyone, God bless.